meeting of the Pine Bluffs Town Council. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item is the agenda.
I move to amend the agenda so item 4B becomes item 8 under new business.
Second that.
It's been moved and seconded to amend the agenda to move item 4B to number 8 under new business. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
Oh, I do have something real quick. On just on building permits, I noticed on 302 Walnut that it wasn't, it doesn't, on their fee total, it doesn't actually meet the requirements we have for the fee schedule. So I just wanted to make sure that someone knew that and that we were being cognizant of that on all of those. But that's it.
Oh, that it was improperly calculated.
Yeah.
Okay, I will let Renee know.
Cool. All right. We have a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Sorry, Jana. Thank you.
Yep.
On to new business. Item number 1 under new business is the final reading of the charter ordinance repealing ordinance 1-300 and ordinance repealing charter ordinance -1300 of the town of Pine Bluffs, Wyoming, entitled Charter Ordinance for May Elections and Odd Number Years, modifying and resetting the town elections for the governing body and the town ballot propositions from May in odd years, numbered years, to November in election years, establishing a procedure for new election times and processes.
I move to approve charter ordinance repealing ordinance 1-300 on the final reading.
I'll
I
second.
second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve a charter ordinance repealing ordinance 1-300 on final reading. All those, do we have to?
Roll call.
Yep.
Roll call vote, so we'll start with Jana.
Aye.
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 Do I? Anyway. Motion approved. Item number 2 under new business is Resolution 2024-05, a budget amendment for the YDOT Transportation Alternative Programs Grant.
Mayor and council, this resolution is to amend our budget by $215,000, $196,693 of which is coming from the grant. 18,307 is the town match.
I move to approve resolution 2024-05.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2024-05. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3 is resolution 2024-06, budget adjustment for the YDOT Highway Safety Program grant.
Mayor and town council, we received $2,000 from YDOT for a highway safety program, specifically occupant protection, high visibility enforcement overtime, which covers overtime costs for our police officers to participate in different tasks and events in partnership with State Patrol, State Highway Patrol, and Laramie County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Cheyenne PD, just to increase safety and awareness. If you need specific information on all those events, Chief Smith could probably speak more to that, but they are events that are outlined specifically by the program that we would participate with other law enforcement agencies.
Great. Well, I approve resolution 2024-06.
Second that?
Moved and seconded to approve resolution 2024-06. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Item number 4 is resolution 2024 did I say 07 last time?
No,
Okay,
you said it
07. A resolution that, to write off uncollectible receivable accounts related to emergency medical services.
Mayor and Town Council, this particular resolution would allow our billing company to write off $11,280.38 in uncollectible debt for our emergency medical services. Director Curry and I have been working closely with the billing service to really clean up our records. And while there are over $100,000 in debt that is owed to the town right now, this particular dollar amount is deemed uncollectible because those patients have passed. And in some cases, they have, you know, their insurance or Medicare or Medicaid have paid a portion of it. And in some cases, they have not, so it's just doesn't seem feasible to try and put those accounts into collections or anything like that. If their insurance or Medicaid was gonna pay for it, it would have happened at the time of service.
These probably tend to be ones who've been on the books for a while?
These range from March of 2020 to June of 2023. We do have somebody that has recently passed that we probably just haven't received any transaction data on that one yet because it's been too soon.
But as a policy, we still try to collect that under their normal,
Absolutely, yes.
okay.
We're just really working with the billing agency to get those accounts that are more than 6 months old out to collections at this point because they are not having any luck. And usually 6 months is at the point where they stop really trying.
Alex?
I just had a question. Do we have a mechanism for tracking if someone does pass away, where we can file a claim with the estate to
We
get
do
that
not.
paid?
we would need guidance on how to do something like that.
Okay, yeah, that's something we probably ought to,
Yeah, I think that was my concern, is that
Yeah.
we're,
there is a limited amount of time. I mean, some of those could still be alive. I think it's, it's based on when the first comes out. But we're supposed to get notice if we're a recognized creditor. I mean, if they know of, it says discernible creditor. So if we're discerned, they should send notice of it. And then I think you have like 120 days to file a claim, or maybe it's 90, I'm not sure, but, then it's in the estate, and when the estate is distributed, they gotta pay the bills before they can distribute.
Got it. The majority of these are more than 365 days old, but we do have,
We're out of luck on them.
yeah, yes, but we do have a couple that would fall within that 120 days or.
Yeah, and it's based on when the estate is opened. Sometimes people go for years and don't open an estate.
Got
And
it.
then suddenly, somebody finds a small interest in mineral rights or something, and they say, oh, we're gonna have to open a probate to get that to you.
Got it,
So, and they might not advertise in our paper, they might advertise in some other one, but, it's worth kind of checking on,
absolutely.
because
Yeah,
those get paid by court order, so.
got it. And as we work through the rest of the past due ones, after we send them off to our agency, then, we can get a little bit more specific dollar amounts as to different categories, like which ones are insurance versus Medicare, Medicaid, things like that.
so my only thing is I have confidence that we've perused the accounts with, the best intentions, and this is where we're at today. My concern going forward is that we have a mechanism for understanding exactly what bad debt is. I'm just saying, in the private sector, it's a little easier. You've decided that for yourself. I just don't want to be in a situation where I don't think we would ever arbitrarily forgive debt. But that being said, I don't want to be in a situation where we perhaps, where we have a good set of parameters we're working with, and I'm sure you guys have developed those in this process,
Yes.
so.
Yeah. So do we need, I guess my only question is, if we choose to file with the estates and that changes our number, that technically makes this, how do we need to handle that?
Well, I feel like what Alex is saying is, moving forward, we need to
Okay.
just be on that. I think if we're comfortable with where we are now with the existing
Yeah.
issues.
I think that's
I
fine
I don't
with
wanna
me.
speak for you, Alex.
Well, I'm lost on my thing, so I can't really look at the resolution, but, here comes help. This is, you got the wrong date here.
Oh, yeah, you're not even on the right, you're not even on the right one here.
This thing's,
It doesn't want, it's mad at you.
it doesn't work very well. Yeah, we could amend the grant clause here if you think there might be any chance of some of those maybe being part of a probate still, or?
Well, page 2 of the resolution lists the dates of them, so if you look, there's only 2 that would be within,
I didn't know there was a page 2.
oh,
I never flipped down there, thank you.
yes.
Well, see, we really don't know that because these are the service dates. So we don't know how that dovetails with when a probate might have been opened.
Got it.
So, I mean, it's a little hard to, but
As a creditor, what's our mechanism?
just file a claim with the estate in the court, in the, in the
I mean,
docket.
we have,
How do
what's,
we know?
what's the mechanism for knowing there's
Oh,
a claim?
well, you gotta keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, they're supposed to notify known creditors, but a lot of times that doesn't happen. And sometimes people don't file a probate for years after the person has passed away until there's some incentive to do that. But that's kind of, it's just one of those things where I don't think we've ever gotten a notice from decedent's estate that says, hey, if you want to get paid, file your claim.
We have not.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Well, at least not in the time that I've worked for the town, we have not
Yeah.
received one.
So, some of these are substantial, and, I don't know, it's kind of a judgment call whether there's, a time value there too. I mean, how many hours do you want to spend tracking these things?
Well, it's interesting to me that there's numerous ones on here where they were underpaid. And those really do feel like somebody made a judgment that our billing was outside the parameters of whatever Medicare or,
Sure. Or it's
Someone
possible
else
it was
was-
their copay on their insurance,
Sure.
which meant
Sure.
the individual was then responsible and,
But, they go back quite a ways. There might be, the first two here, one of them, looks like it's,
sorry, Alan.
well, I don't know. Some of these service dates are in 2023.
That's what I was noticing, is that some of them aren't all that old.
So, but, if you wanted to amend it, you could amend that action clause to say that the town treasurer has a discretion to, cancel whichever ones you want and pursue those that may still have merit. Something like that.
So, the objective here is just cleaning up the account list.
absolutely, yes.
And so is there a way in which we'd like to clean it up off of our billing services list? So
Correct.
that's why you're taking it off there.
And that's why I'm doing it. They would like something formal from us saying that they can write those off of our account. That's why I went the route of the resolution,
Yeah.
so that they had a document.
I'm just saying we could potentially take those back in-house, but then
Yes,
they
we
have all
absolutely
of
could.
do we have supporting documentation for those if we remove it from their ledger back onto ours?
We do. It's protected by HIPAA, so one of
Right.
the things we've got to do is, look at, our AR function would be very vague. We would just list it as EMS services on such and such a date, such and such a run number. And then any specifics would be between the patient or the family and the ambulance director.
Okay,
But there is a pretty darn good, couple of attorneys in Fort Collins that do collection work on medical stuff, and they handle the hospital. And they're a pain in the neck to deal with, because I've been on the other side of it with them. But, if you kept them alive, you know, you could probably assign these for collection and you'd probably get something out of it. I mean, some of these are sizable enough that, you know, they'd be worth pursuing.
Yeah, and to that point, I guess I'm wondering, so they've never been moved to an actual collection, they've just,
No,
They've
they've gone
never-
through the billing services collection process, but they have not gone to a collection agency. And I guess I wasn't sure if you could go to a collection agency with a bill for somebody that had passed, so.
That might be, I mean, are all of these people deceased?
Yes, yes, that's why I kept
100% of
this
them.
separate, 100%,
Then we'd be looking for probates.
right.
And if they didn't send us notice in the probate, we can collect from the heirs. So, it's kind of whatever you wanna, however you wanna play it.
If this is just clearing up the billing service, we can do that, and I will move to approve the resolution number 2024-07.
I'll second that.
it's been moved and seconded to approve resolution 2024-07. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is the new meeting time and date of the second Monday and the fourth Wednesday at 6 PM.
I like it.
Is that a motion?
I move we accept the proposed change in meeting time and date.
I've heard a motion and a second to change the meeting, to formalize the meeting time and date of second Monday and fourth Wednesday at 6 PM. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6 is the sale of town vehicles.
The Public Works Department and the Police Department would like permission for us to move forward with selling 2 town vehicles. One is our 1997 Ford Ranger, and the other is a 2013 Ford Taurus Police Interceptor. Both have reached their useful life with the town of Pine Bluffs. And so I am just asking permission to list them for sale through bid from the public.
So we're doing sealed bids
Yes.
from the public.
Yes.
Sounds good to
I
me.
don't have any issues with that.
I do not either.
I move that we approve the sale of the vehicles.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the sale of 2 town vehicles. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7 is Police Department vehicle bids. Maybe you could come up.
So as discussed in earlier emails, we received technically 3 bids, but 2 bids were the only bids that were actually the truck that we were looking for. The third bid, or actually it's technically the second bid, out of Casper is not a four-door. It was a two-door with the suicide door, so it wasn't a full cab. That's why it was extensively cheaper. So we only got 2 bids this time around from Ken Garf and Interstate Ford out of Colorado. Did reach out, I cold called all 4 dealerships in the state of Wyoming, and we either didn't have them on the lot, or the order would be 2025, and we just don't have time to wait, so.
So it looks like, the bid from Interstate Ford is not a four-door vehicle?
That's a typo on mine. That note should be flip-flopped with the one from Casper.
Casper, yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Well, I will move to approve the bid from Ken Garf Ford in Cheyenne for the purchase of a new police department vehicle.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the purchase of a new police vehicle from Ken Garf Ford, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Any discussion?
Yeah, quick question.
Yes.
I know that it wasn't necessarily in the budget for all of these vehicles. How is our budget doing with these expenses that we maybe didn't fully anticipate?
Sure. So these would fall under our 6 penny project budget for equipment. And
Okay.
this will put us a little bit over in that budget when we combine the vehicles plus the case management system, as well as one of the public works vehicles that also fell under that. So in the next meeting, I will have a resolution requesting that we move funds from one of the other projects over to the equipment project.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, it's been moved and seconded. Oh, I already did that. All those in favor of the motion?
Bye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
New item number 8 on new business is the garage for 409 Blair.
Which is 4B in your council pack.
4B. So I will just say that we obtained more information. We've also look, all we can go off of is what's in the actual building permit application. I have concerns that we approved a less extensive building garage, smaller, and that has existing foundation, I guess, or flat work already completed, that had an estimated cost at nearly 5 times the estimated cost of this project based on the applicant's valuation of work. I don't love that. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I was hopeful that we could have a verbal conversation about, I think, and Jackie could speak to this, but she had a conversation with the, I guess, the builder of the project. And given that we have no elevation here, we're not exactly sure what's intended, but I don't think it says anything in the building permit, but it sounds like there may be intention for it to be 2-story.
Yes,
And
that's what he stated when I,
and perhaps something within the second story. So there's just a lot of, I feel like we're still at a place where we're not really getting good information.
and I did, Mayor and Council, when I spoke to the gentleman who has brought in the paperwork, and he is helping his brother with this project, I did request that he come to the meeting tonight. He was unable to do that. And so he gave the description that the mayor just described, that it was intended to have a second story, and that it was possible that the second story was for living quarter purposes. So he understood that, that there would be some more discussion that would need to take place in order for the building permit to go through.
I don't see how the garage doors where they're facing, that this doesn't cause an encroachment on the neighbors to the north's property. I'm not comfortable with it, the way it's laid out, and with so little distance between the north edge of the building and the property line. I just don't see how that design is workable at all.
Yeah.
The idea that he's gonna put living quarters in it too brings into question, that means you have to have sewer, water, electrical service. I think there's just
And
too
as
much
I
here
was
we
saying,
don't know to.
there's a concrete foundation, but obviously that, if you're going to build a garage, you could, technically, I guess you could just put some flat work down and it'd probably hold up a garage all right, but all of a sudden a 2-story garage is footers and
Yeah,
probably should be there on a garage.
yeah, it
It
should
would-
have a proper foundation.
Sure.
That's not a $5,000 project.
And no, and that is not a $5,000 project.
That evaluation is not correct.
So what I would love is for him to, be more realistic about what he's doing and be upfront with us about, I don't think we have a problem with 2-story construction and or garage/living space, but I think he has to be forthcoming with what he's planning to do and realistic about the pricing of that. And then there's Dave's question about how he's going to prevent himself from, as designed, encroaching. I think we do have some responsibility. I mean, it's not really, if it's not terribly workable, that's not really our problem, but if his design almost has some expectation that he's going to encroach on his neighbor's property, I don't know about that. So,
It would just seem to me that would clear up a lot of unknowns if we could speak to, Mr. Garcia in person.
I agree. I move to postpone this building permit until we are able to have a discussion with Mr. Garcia.
I'll second it.
it's been moved and seconded to postpone this building permit application until we have more information or can speak to the applicant. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next item is visitor comments. See any visitors? Moving on, department reports. Jana, do you have anything to report?
I do not.
I do not either.
I don't either.
I don't have much, just that everyone but 3 people who participated in the EMT advanced certification have finished their exam. And so hopefully when everyone is able to do that, we'll be able to have them all in and recognize them. It's a great asset to that service, so that's all I have.
Great.
Alex,
Thank you.
your boss man left,
Yeah,
so
we
does
don't-
that leave it to you?
Yeah, it does. He said we don't have anything to do with it, so.
Great. That's good news, really. Jackie?
We got our new card payment system in. We still, unfortunately, are waiting for Tyler Tech for the remainder of our options with our municipal court side of things. So, as of now, nothing should have changed on the online side for utility payments and things. Hopefully, soon. We have a couple more payment options. We're just patiently waiting for Tyler Tech to give us all the things, so. That's all I got.
I just have one question.
Yes.
About, not specific to that, but
Mhm.
it's, so if we ever jump over that hurdle, and I'm confident we will, I'm just saying it's a bit of a challenge, then we will move on to integrating, building, website building stuff. I mean, I'm hopeful that we're still moving forward with that.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if, I know part of it's the integrated payment and all of that, but this has that capability, correct?
Yeah, it'll be the same as is currently available on our website. It's just a link. Yep.
Okay. All right, Kim?
DEQ had requested some revisions to our design plans for the North Property Infrastructure Project for Phase 1 development. So those have been resubmitted to DEQ. We're still on track to release this infrastructure project for bid, late winter. Late winter actually to early spring, but for construction happening this year. So that's great. We had a meeting today, an initial meeting to move forward with our substation project where we have been looking at replacing those reclosers. And we'll have some engineers back out here later this week to do a site visit and make sure that we have everything that we need. You know, we're talking about using much larger capacity recloser than we have right now. So we will be able to possibly combine some circuits and dedicate a circuit to the north property alone as opposed to having it clumped in with one of the other circuits here in town. We are also actively working on updating our capital improvement plan. As you know, the full plan was done in 2018. So we're at that point where it needs updating and revision. I mean, we've been making, you know, following the plan and doing many of the projects, but some of those projects have opened our eyes to other things that needed to be done. So we are actively working on that right now. I guess that's it for our projects. Sonia wanted me to relay that we had 45 kiddos signing up from Pine Bluffs for the youth basketball. And that there's about 200 combined signed up between us, Burns, Carpenter, and Albin. So pretty good turnout there. And then back in 2017, 2018 timeframe, the police chief at the time had opened a safe deposit box at Farmer State Bank. I am not sure of the exact purpose. He said that they had to have it in case they got cash evidence. Since then, they have received cash evidence, but nobody has access to this safe deposit box. Our police department has gone down there, as Chief Smith and Officer Kemp, to see about gaining access and what do they need from you all as the council to allow them permission to access it, because it was just,
And we don't know where.
we don't
the
know where
key
the key is. There's been no key passed on, there was no key passed on to Chief Wakama, no key passed on to Chief Smith. There isn't a key in the key box anywhere. In fact, there isn't even a spare key at Farmers State Bank. So I would like permission for us to have Farmers State Bank go ahead and drill the lock and ensure that there's nothing in there. And if there is nothing in there, then we will simply close out the lock box. We do not need a safe deposit box. We believe it's empty.
Why don't we auction it off,
Yeah,
like storage wars?
There you go, storage wars.
Are we early or late?
Oh,
I apologize.
forgot.
No, I see.
Put him on the agenda. It's okay.
yeah, I guess we never know, but we're paying $35 to $50 a year to.
Yes, it's,
Keep it open.
yeah,
Well, not even open, it's not accessible to us, but we're still paying,
correct.
so, I don't see why we
Yeah.
wouldn't try to bring that to a close. In some way, I
Somehow.
don't, it's bizarre, I think. I think it will be like Jimmy Hoffa's vault.
Does it require a
Get
motion
Geraldo out
to?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
won't find anything, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, we need to probably be
We-
done with
Right,
it.
yes, we
whatever
would
it
just
is.
like to close that out, and Chief Smith stated that he saw no reason why we would need to.
But
maintain
that's
one.
their protocol, is we would sign paperwork.
Yes, they just need something in our minutes saying that we have permission to go ahead and drill that out and close that box.
Does that require a motion?
Can we make an action, outside of our action items, or do we need? to
Yeah, sure.
Go back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I move to grant Farmers State Bank the permission to close out the safety deposit box as they see fit.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to, close out the safe deposit box at Farmer State Bank. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Those,
Aye.
sorry, again.
It's
Those
late, it goes late.
Those opposed, the motion carries. Any other, Jackie?
So, I forgot to add Michael Flores, is here to address the council about some water forgiveness on a leak that he had. And you spoke with his landlord, correct?
Yes, the leak has been fixed.
Okay, so
Okay.
Michael is here to, would you
Yeah.
go up to the podium? Do you have your bill with you? Do you know the amount that you're,
I don't
Asking?
have it with me.
It's okay, I can open
Okay.
it up here.
perfect.
So your name and address, please.
My name is Michael Flores. I live at 406.5 Miller Street here in Pine Bluffs. About a month ago, me and my partner believed that we were using too much water, so we were doing everything to conserve. And this upcoming month, we realized that our bill had doubled. So we immediately thought it was a leak, so we contacted our landlord and we got it figured out. But it was after the fact, and it was kind of insane to see that price.
Jackie, do you have a
She's pulling it
Yeah, I
up,
had to
it's just,
open up the
assessment of
program,
the
hang on.
multiplier, like the scale of this, she'll find out. Tell us what the leak was.
I believe they found a pipe that was bent. I took a picture of it, it's on my phone as well, but
They were there for one day and they fixed it that same day.
The top line's address.
Didn't cause any damage.
28406.
No, not that I know of.
Yeah. That's probably name. Oh my gosh. What is
Yeah,
that?
it's when you do it outside of the,
Oh,
yeah,
I can go pull it up.
okay.
I had that happen at my house. And it lives out in my yard, I didn't know it had a T that broke. It was 72,000 gallons of water one month.
Yikes.
That was a nasty water bill. Had this happen?
Well,
There it is, yeah.
I wasn't as curious about the specificity as whether it was, like it was substantially different.
Yeah, it was.
So the first month, you
So-
saw it rise, or you just decided?
So
you were gonna be
it was like slowly rising up, so we were assuming that we were using too much water, and it got around to that 300 mark, and then after that, it went up to like 5, I believe it's like 538 or something now. And that's when we were like, maybe there's something else going on.
How long have you lived at this address?
It'd probably have to be, I think, January of last year.
What was a typical water bill for you when things were normal?
When, in the beginning, it was not too bad, it was around like 200, so, and
That's his whole bill
That's
would
the
be
whole town
around.
bill?
Right,
yeah, I
yes.
apologize.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
That was just all together.
so, let me see here. Yeah, it looked like a typical bill was between 40 and 50 for water alone. And last month, his water bill was, the water alone was $367.25.
Do we have the month before that?
Yes. So the month before that, there was also indication that he may have had a leak. It was 142.25. The month prior to that, it was 102. And then prior to that was $78.20.
So, what are you asking for?
I'm not asking for a full, like cover, but I'm asking at least somewhat of a percentage off, just to make it at least more reasonable for me to pay.
Sure.
So that 367 equates to 97,000 gallons of usage.
And on average, it looks like it's about 20,000 is his,
So you essentially went
Usage.
from 50 to 350, 367. The month before, he was probably exceeding it by,
well, you can tell when the leak started, cause he started going up to, I mean, his water usage was 34,000, then it was 38,000, and then went to the 97,000, so
Yeah.
he's had it, I mean, it was,
It looks like the leak it started
Yeah.
probably a couple of months ago, but
Yes.
it wasn't as
well,
noticeable.
that's all I was trying to go
Yes.
back
Yes.
a little bit further and get a base bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what percentage, what does it look like the leak cost over the course of time?
I think it cost $400.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
roughly,
I mean, that might be a little undershooting, but that seems like
I would say around 450, yeah,
yeah.
something like that, 450.
yeah, I had it in my mind that $400, but 450, whatever the actual number. So I would just say that we have, this is not the first circumstance like this, and we typically thoroughly review the case, not always in front of the council, but, review the case, make sure it's fixed, and act accordingly to try to make it reasonable. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying what you all think or what you wanna do, but this is not, we've done this on occasion.
Yeah.
So does it require any action on our part, or is it something that,
I don't. We
That you
have,
know
we
will
haven't
take
always
care of.
taken action.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, more often than not, it's just behind the scenes and
okay,
we make a bill adjustment and move forward and try to take care of our citizens to the best of our ability, so. I guess I don't wanna dig right into a number. I would say whatever number,
Okay.
my opinion, whatever number, using the same methodology
Okay.
we've used in the past to arrive at
Yep.
a reasonable discount
Okay.
or, thing is what we should
Okay.
Yeah,
do.
I agree.
That's what I think.
We'll get you taken care of.
I appreciate
Jackie
it, thank
will
you so
Be
much.
in contact
I'll
with
give you a call
Okay,
tomorrow.
awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming in. All right, anything else? Nope, hearing none. Does anyone want to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Oh,
No,
we need
we have
announcements and
announcements and
meetings.
meetings.
You
Oh.
tried to skip that part.
I've talked about
Oh,
meetings
thunder.
more times in the last 4 months than I'd like, anyway. Okay, I did try to
Same.
skip that, sorry. Announcements and meetings.
Okay, so the town hall offices will be closed on next Monday, 15th, in observance of MLK Day. And your next meeting will be the 24th of January at 6 PM. No changes, no takebacks.
And also the county elected officials meeting is Wednesday.
Yes, and if you all have RSVP'd,
Yes.
yes?
I
Okay.
did.
You did?
I did.
Okay. Also, I forwarded you the WAM agenda, for the winter WAM in Cheyenne.
Which I was happy you did that because, I swear the email from Wham did not contain the attachment of the actual agenda.
Somehow I never get those, so
Yeah,
I have no
don't know.
idea, but anyway. And
Thank
when's our deadline for signing up? for
and they're
WAM?
pretty flexible. So, just let me know at your earliest convenience if you plan to attend, and I'll get you registered. They're usually pretty
Yeah.
We might
flexible.
not even
They
have
are.
to buy rooms in Cheyenne this year.
I think you're good, unless, if you want, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you no, but, you should be good. So there's,
Great.
you have the
Thank you.
agenda and all the things now, so.
awesome, thank you.
That's all I
I
have.
don't have anything
Okay.
else. I tried to speed through this part.
That's good. Well, now I will second Dave's motion to adjourn.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Bye, thanks, Jana.
Thanks, Jana.
Yes, y'all have a nice
Hope-
night.
Hope you feel better.
Thank you, me too.